Internet!
Boom!
Boom!
Here we are.
Boom!
Yes, once again.
Yeah.
For September of Space.
Yeah.
Space.
Most people don't know this about this YouTube channel, Tommy. I'm going to reveal one of our secrets, okay?
Okay.
We are on a spaceship. That's why we're so weird and disconnected to Earth.
That's true. I mean, is there anything behind us yet? Like, can I point? If I point, is there anything? Like an alien, maybe? No? Okay, never mind.
No, we're just floating in the atmosphere.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, the auction will run out soon, so let's see which one of us dies first. Anyway, moving on to the movie, of course, Dan.
Aren't you bundle of sunshine? Yes, hello, welcome. We are in Space September.
Yep.
And we know we're in September because it's officially autumn.
Of course, yeah, and it can slowly stop being so excruciatingly hot. Am I right?
Absolutely. Finally, when I drop eggs on the pavement, I can pick them back up again and cook them in a real pan.
Exactly. Instead of them just frying on the pavement. Don't want that.
No, we do not want that. Did you see earlier out this window, right? Nowhere to lie, there was a seagull with a whole burger in its mouth.
Nope, I didn't see it.
That was hilarious.
If you were a seagull, I can imagine that would be you, though.
They don't even chew.
They just swallow.
Damn.
I've seen them swallow a whole chicken carcass before.
Damn.
All in one go. Gone. They
Anyway,
must have...
We're not here to review the birds.
Their stomach acids must be like hydrochloric acid. That's all I can say.
Have you ever had one of them pull in your car? Yeah, it is.
Damn right.
Right, so here goes nothing. Tommy is going to give us the review. Now, you all know how this works. Tommy comes in here, he reviews something to the theme of the month, and we just play that part of the film in the background. But today is no exception. Apart from... Tommy, take it away.
Well, I thought I'd do a little something different this week, Dan, because for the film that I'm going to be talking about, instead of just doing a normal review like we usually do, this one has actually been written as a limerick review.
Now, tell those who are not really very good at English, because they come from the Chantry Estate, what that means.
So the best way to describe a limerick, it's kind of like a nursery rhyme, a bit like Jack and Jill went up the hill, or
Take a pill.
yeah, or there was an old woman from China who had an enormous. Anyway, you know, things like that. You know, just things that rhyme. I thought for a bit of fun.
I'm using that one.
Yeah. Oh, please do, please do. But yeah, so I basically wrote this review as a rhyme, and it's for a film called Mars Attacks from 1996, following with the space tradition for this month, of course. You know, sci-fi, aliens, that kind of thing.
You just went all sci-fi and alien on me.
Yep. Yeah, totally. Yeah. So here it goes, Dan. So this is a film by Tim Burton, by the way, just so you know. But I gather you knew that from the amount of weirdness that is going on.
Pretty standard.
Yep. So Burton has always been odd. His absurdity makes him a god. In this wacky flick, alien butt gets a kick. These humans are in for a prod. The plot brings a whole lot of silly, especially when the aliens become killy. Prepare for a probe. Nicholson rules the globe. Martian girl was all kinds of chilly. The cast was the best all round. Brosnan is hilarious, I found. Tom Jones has our souls. Nicholson plays two roles. I also dig the alien sound. Yep, that's right. Tom Jones is in this movie as well.
Love that.
The logic of this film is a tad foggy. Jessica Parker's head is on a doggy. Byron Williams is the hero. Martin Short plays a zero. Alien guts they just make everything foggy.
Right as you said doggy, it came up.
Did it? Really?
Yeah.
No way. Oh.
That was actually very good timing.
And so to close, Dan, I had a fun time with this one. I see DeVito and I'm done. The Martians don't give a flack. They go ack. Tim Burton's visual limits are none. So on that note, Dan, I'm going to give Mars Attacks 3 out of 5. So yeah, to give you a bit of context about it, it basically involves maybe 4 or 5 different storylines, and they all just so happen to coincide with this alien invasion that's happening. And these aliens, they're not here to make friends. They're here to take over the world, basically. And it's very, very unique in its visual style. The CGI is all sorts of weird, as you know.
I'm seeing it. Yes.
Yeah, like, people getting turned to goo and to mush, and alien brains being on show and all that, and it's very Tim Burton-esque, and you can tell a lot of these visuals that you're looking at come from Tim Burton illustrations to begin with, because of course, didn't know if you knew that Tim Burton is an artist. He went to art school to be an animator, and of course he's made a few films that we don't really like to talk about, like Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, we don't like that one. No.
Yeah, we don't like that. Although he did also, I think he produced James and the Giant Peach, which is a film I do like, even though it is.
I think I've read the book, but not seen the film.
Yeah, it's a very it's that same ilk as Nightmare Before Christmas, but there are live action elements to James and the Giant Peach, so it offers a little bit more of
I just think
believability.
The CGI in Nightmare Before Christmas wasn't very good.
The issue is stop motion can be very alarming, can't it? It can be very, like, to be honest, it weren't really the animation for Nightmare Before Christmas. To me, there's just no story. There's no substance. There's nothing to it. That's what bothers me about it most. It's just become a cult classic because it's just something to watch at Halloween or Christmas, I guess. But
yeah, that is something to watch in November, isn't it?
Pretty much between the two, yeah. But with Mars Attacks, it's a Tim Burton film at its core. This is after he made the Batman movies that I love. After he made Edward Scissorhands, which is also a film I love. And then after this, I think he started looking into making Sleepy Hollow, which is his first horror film, I think. And then after that, into the 2000s, he just started making remakes, and they're not as good. We have the Planet of the Apes film that he did, which is nothing in comparison to the ones that came before or the ones that came after. And then he did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which is okay, but it's nothing compared to the original film. Have you seen both of those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've read the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've read the book.
And then he did Dumbo as well, which is one of the more recent Disney remakes, which are just cash grabs.
Horrendous, that film.
God, I
that
know.
was horrific. I just want it to end.
Yeah. So it's almost like Tim Burton, his best decade was the 90s because he got to be experimental in the 90s and do more. He made superhero films, he made horror films, he made family films, he made sci-fi spoofs like this, because this is a film that really it kind of honors those B movies from like the 1950s and 60s, like Aliens from Outer Space Attack. That's the title kind of thing, like really cheesy B movies. Like it kind of honors those.
But a lot of those movies are actually pretty good.
I'm sure they're fun to watch. They're probably fun. Do you know? Like, have you heard of the film The Fly? It's a film. David Cronenberg made a version of it in the 80s, which is a body horror movie, and it's really disgusting, really like emotional, really moving, and really practical effects. It's gross out humour.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, but Jeff Goldblum is in it. Jeff Goldblum is in it. Right. But it was originally a film from the 1950s, I want to say, starring Vincent Price, and literally. Of course you'll know this. They did it in The Simpsons. The original Fly movie was just about a man who swaps heads with a fly.
Yes, I did do it in The Simpsons. Yes.
Bart does that, doesn't he?
Yes.
And it just that just reminded me of that it happened in The Simpsons as well, because obviously that's something that you can relate to on that. But yeah, that's what I mean. Like these B movies, they were corny, they were stupid, but they were entertaining.
Yes.
And that's exactly what The Fly was in the 50s, and that's what all those B movies about aliens and spacecrafts was as well.
So would you say this one, Mars Attack, is a B movie?
Yeah. It's more of a it's a B movie with an A cast.
Yes.
That's the best way to describe it.
With an A cast like this, I was expecting a bit more than 3 stars.
I mean, you've got Jack Nicholson on it, who plays 2 roles, and he's one of my favourite. He's probably my most favourite actor of all time, Jack Nicholson. And then you've got Pierce Brosnan, who was James Bond, of course. He's in there as well. Sarah Jessica Parker, Michael J. Fox.
Yes.
Who we know from Stuart Little and a few other things, but
Stuart Little 2 is on tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yeah. It's a great film.
Yeah.
Have you seen Stuart Little 2?
I have seen Stuart Little 2, but I've never seen the animated third movie. I don't bother with that. Like it's just 2 movies and that's that. Yeah. But yeah, back to Mars Attacks. I would highly recommend it. It's stupid. It's funny. It's got actors that I don't think it's got actors in it that I've never seen in a bad movie. You know, I've got Jack Nicholson, Pierce Brosnan, Danny DeVito. You know, I mean these guys
That's just your starter pack.
and these guys are legends. You know, in Hollywood. You know, and Martin Sheen as well. He's a good comedy actor. I'm trying to think who else. You know what? I think Annette Bening's in it. Do you know what? I'm just gonna get the cast up.
Get the cast
Because
up.
there's so much more than what I can remember.
I don't think this is one of the films I've seen, but I have heard of.
Okay. So, yeah, Tom Jones is in it.
Yes.
As himself.
Tom Jones.
Because they find out, I don't know if this is a spoiler, they figure out the way to destroy the aliens is music from the radio. And it's not unusual, plays so many times, because that is a belter. And, of course,
That's my great way of killing aliens.
Of course,
you know?
Tom Jones
I
is there
love
to see it through. Natalie Portman actually is in a young role. Well, I think it was during her teen years, so she's quite young. Jack Black appears in it for a bit as well.
Jack Black.
Yeah.
Wow.
And seeing if there's anyone else. I don't think there's anyone else actually who appears, but it's a huge cast. And I accidentally said Martin Sheen earlier. I meant Martin Short, not Martin Sheen.
Right.
Martin Short is in there. But yeah, the A-star people in that have got to be Jack Nicholson for me because, and I can say people because he plays two characters in it. And yeah, it's a fun movie. It's silly, it's stupid, it's got all the Tim Burton silliness about it and humour, and there's a bit of undercurrent dark humour in there as well.
Right.
It's a bit self-aware. It's what it is. It's a spoof on that satire of space movies and alien invasions and all that, you know. And I'm sure the Scooby-Doo alien film is up there on your list of films involving aliens, but this film was a harmless watch.
I am hopeful that it comes up, but well, actually, look at the calendar.
Nope.
It's not going to because this is it.
Well, you'll have to pick the months for next year. You should be doing that soon. I mean, we're getting close to the end of the year now, so I want these in advance so I can prepare.
Oh, don't you worry about that.
Have you already done them?
No.
Okay, good.
I'll do them.
No, try and do them in the next week or two. Then that way, and send them to me. Just so, and remember, these need to be very broad genres. I want action movies one week. I want funnies one week. I want horrors. Well, maybe not horrors. Superheroes.
Not week, month.
Months. That's what I meant. That'd be weird, wouldn't it? If we changed it every week. Christ, we would run out by the end of February. Anyway, yeah. Well, that's my task for you now, Dan. Come up with the themes for next year because I want those in style.
Do not worry about that. I have got you covered.
Yep, and they need to be.
You look nervous when I say that.
But they need to be a broad genre mix. Don't just do animated movies from the 2000s, animated movies from the 90s.
SpongeBob September. Well, we've done 3 films and now stuck.
Nickelodeon movies, Cartoon Network movies.
Nickelodeon November. Yeah.
Oh no!
Keep talking. I'm liking your tune.
If we do that, I'm just going to do the Rugrats movies twice each week,
I believe it's the only film to ever be released on an orange VHS.
Really?
I think so.
Okay. Go figure.
So, yeah. Yeah. Rugrats are awesome.
Yeah. That's my C into Nickelodeon, so that's probably where I'd go.
I wasn't big on Nickelodeon as a kid. I'm big on it now because it's the only channel left. But
Yeah.
I wasn't big on it back then.
Nah, yeah.
So it was literally Rugrats, the odd bit of SpongeBob, the odd bit of Fairly Odd Parents. That was about it.
Yeah. It just weren't for me, really. I tended to only watch it for the live action stuff, Drake and Josh, Keenan and Kel.
Yes. Love a bit of Drake and Josh.
Yeah.
Drake Bell's in prison now, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
I don't know why.
I don't know why either. But Josh Peck's doing well for himself. I think he was in the new Christopher Nolan film that came out this year, Oppenheimer, about the big bomb.
Was he really?
He's the guy that operates the bomb on the test run.
Did not think he was still around.
And he's doing very well. He's lost loads of weight. He looks great. He looks thin. He's settled down. He's married. He's got kids, and he's got a thriving career ahead of him. So literally, Drake and Josh, one went down a dark abyss, and the other one aimed for the top, and it's great. It's great.
Similar thing happened on Disney, didn't it? With That's So Raven.
I'm sure.
That was actually a pretty good show. But you had the guy that played Eddie, Raven's friend, go downhill and take the similar route to Drake, and then obviously Raven Simone went on a talk show, and she's now got a new show, and it's all on Disney Plus. I think everything's on Disney Plus now.
Okay.
I'm probably on Disney Plus. Who knows?
We are, yeah, with this one day.
Can you imagine?
They won't. Not after
Someone's just gonna be like $7.99 for this.
After some of the stuff we say about Disney, they wouldn't touch us with a barge pole, my friend.
Netflix it is. Right, have yourselves a great rest of your week. We return next week for... You can't remember.
No, it begins with O. I know that much.
Can you read that from here?
Out of Your Wits, October.
Oh, yeah.
So we're talking scary films, films with horrific themes, maybe even just like horror comedies as well, you know. There'll be a broad mix in there, but I'm looking forward to discussing that with you, Dan.
Just in that moment, I've just realised I'm not going to like this one.
Don't speak too soon. I might be able to find some kid movies in there for you as well.
Bit of Casper, don't go amiss. You can't go wrong with a bit of Casper.
That's true, but I'm pretty sure we did that last year.
We did. Have you ever played the video game yet on the PlayStation 1?
No.
That is the hardest game ever.
Let me guess, Steve completed it in one night?
I haven't even let him go anywhere near it. He just gets too cocky. Right, have yourself a great rest of your week and weekend, you adoring, lovable YouTube audience. And you can love, like, comment, subscribe, whatever the buttons are.
Larkins95 and Dan Moore Radio.
And you can find us on Letterboxd at... Oh, wait, no, someone said their line's a bit too early.
Well, I had to jump in there, Dan, because I knew you were going to quiz me about it.
But you got it right, though.
Exactly.
You got it right.
Yep.
And that is what matters.
And I'm never getting it wrong again, my friend.
You are. I'm going to change it next month. Right, have a great one, everyone.
Take care, everybody. Have a good one.